asked you guys to this beautiful flower. See it? Oh my gosh. Signs, everything's a sign. Hello. Hi, you guys. This in my nose, if it's distracting, I might take it out. What's up? What's good? Okay. I am filming this video because I asked you guys on my Instagram to leave any questions you have as it pertains to my travels, moving out of state, moving out of the country, and just traveling around, especially during this unique time that we're all experiencing. And you guys left me some incredible questions. I chose 10. I combined a few of them. I have your usernames here. Why did I choose Jamaica? My grandma gifted me a beach towel that was the Jamaica flag. The entire towel was the Jamaica flag, and the words "I love Jamaica" were across the full towel. And ever since she gave me that towel, I was just fascinated by Jamaica. And then in middle school, starting in 8th grade, I took Chinese. I took Mandarin Chinese, volunteered to take it. And from that point on, I started to tell people when they would ask me, are you just black, based on how my hair was in school. And so I would tell people, no, I'm Jamaican and Chinese. And so just since I was a little girl, I was fascinated by Jamaica. That's the little backstory. There was a point in time when I didn't really have much faith and much hope in this existence and existentialism. And then I changed my life. I decided to just do the things that I wanted to do, which travel was high on that list. I would always watch travel vlogs. The reason why I've stayed is because this poet energy, like I said, the island life, the slow-paced island life, which reminds me of Koh Lanta when I was in Thailand. It's a black country, so I'm seeing myself everywhere and I'm reflected in everyone around me. It's like, we run this, okay, we run this, our country, not really, but I'm also working on something very special. I'm building a business out here, and I'm gonna have some products, platform that you guys can support. So I'll leave the information down below and I'll maybe talk more about it when I'm answering the questions. But if you guys wanna support me, I've been studying biochemistry, herbology, medicinal plants. It just feels right, and everything came together and aligned. First question is, how are you able to travel and stay for so long money-wise? You don't work, LOL. One, my job is online, so yes, I work, and you guys know what I do because you're watching it right now. And because I choose how I work, when I work, and for how long I work, that determines how much money I make. How can you work from anywhere in the world? And two, there's an element of faith involved when you go after your dreams and goals, or just decide to live life. There's an element of faith involved, and I know it's maybe not as practical for everyone. Maybe some people see it as living on the edge, but I know if I jump off a cliff, I'm gonna be caught. I know that when I jump off a cliff, that's when my life begins and starts, and that's when I elevate myself. When I surrender and do what I say I want to do and show up for myself, everything aligns. I am walking living proof, y'all. Everything aligns when you just take that step off the cliff. It's scary. That's not even a thing, scary. What is that word? It is exhilarating. So I just have faith that things are gonna work out. And finally, I think there's this overall misconception that traveling is expensive, that it takes a ton of planning. That goes against you having faith. That goes against nature. I didn't have a ton of money ever in any of these circumstances. Second question is, how did you get accommodation for a long period of time? Number one, I started with Airbnb. I invited a friend out here with me, so that helped split the costs because Airbnbs are expensive here. We built rapport and a relationship with the host. She knew we were reliable because we had already been paying the inflated prices that she put on Airbnb. The way I worked it out here in Jamaica for the home that I was staying in, that a lot of you guys saw, is I just paid the rent of the landlord's home. So whatever I consumed for electricity, like AC and those things, can be really high, so I paid that separately. So you can find accommodations from 300 US to 1,000 US. But for me, I just was in the 300 to 600 range, which again, I am grateful for. Subleasing is another way that you can get accommodation out here. I was connected with a couple of friends through friends that I met. Get connected, talk to people, and ask around, hey, do you have a place, or do you know of a place that I could sublease? Do you know of a place that I could rent? A lot of things are word of mouth here that I've noticed. So when I was in Thailand, I stayed in a few hostels. I met people that way, traveled with people that way, but that's a very cost-effective way to travel around an island or in different countries. Very, very, very cheap. 17 or less US dollars a night when things are usually like $50+. There are also Airbnb monthly stays, so they'll give you a discounted rate because you're staying for a longer period of time. So the third question was asked by the model in me 32, hey girl, and _Doris_Irechukwu. How much was my flight to Jamaica and what's the cost of living here in Jamaica? So my flight was $500 after the taxes and fees. I just went into Google Flights to find the cheapest airline. I booked that flight on July 29th, which was almost exactly a month from when I was supposed to fly out. For the cost of living, Doris, when you're looking for homes, you might want to look in a place that maybe isn't super popular as far as tourism goes, maybe a place that isn't right in town. Food can range. It can be very, very cheap. I eat a lot of fruit. Fruit stands can actually be expensive here. I noticed that sometimes they'll sell boxed fruit and upcharge you like you would be charged in a grocery store, but you can also find the stands where it isn't like that. It's just about what you eat, what you consume, but cheap. Not in a grocery store. Grocery stores are expensive, but outside of it, which is why you would live in the tropics, because you just go to a fruit stand just like a market, like how we used to shop way back when, and get fruits. Like, I'm talking about a whole heap of fruits for like less than 17 US. For transportation, you can get public buses and taxis here just on like main roads, and you can spend 100 Jamaican, which again is around 70 US. And then if you want a private taxi, it could be 1700 Jamaican or more. Number 4, am I traveling by myself? And did I know anyone before coming? So when I traveled to Mexico, I was with my boyfriend at the time. Hey Eric, if you're watching. When I traveled in Europe, I went with 2 friends. When I traveled in Thailand, that was a solo trip for 6 weeks. In Jamaica, I started with a friend, and then now I'm solo. I don't even like using solo because never is that the case. And did I know anyone before coming? Yes. And there are a lot of you guys out here, although I didn't know you personally. A lot of you have reached out as I've been traveling around Jamaica and just letting me know that you're here. If any of you are here, hit me up. I definitely want to experience more and meet y'all. Number 5, I have a question from my girl Bad Yelly. Check out her YouTube, she just started one. Out of the countries you've been to so far, which would you move to? This is a tough question. My biased answer is definitely Jamaica, and then Greece as well. Santorini was up there. I just was obsessed with the architecture, the people, the men, the hospitality. Yeah. Number 6, the question is safety tips for solo travel. Number 1, I would say always make sure your phone is charged and your devices are charged before leaving your accommodation. I travel with an external battery by the brand Anchor. I'll link it down in the description box. I got it off of Amazon, and that thing charges your phone at least, I think, 4 full charges. And then it also can charge other devices with USB cords. I would also say, as far as safety goes, if you're in a country and your phone isn't unlocked, like me, for instance. I didn't do this in Thailand, and I could have, but here I have what we in the States or in Seattle, we call it a burner, but they call it a banga here, banga. So it's a Jamaican number, and I can talk to people directly in Jamaica and communicate. If I need to call my taxi, if I'm looking for places to rent or whatever, I talk to them and call them on my Jamaican number. And then there's also WhatsApp. Number 2, I would say download maps before you're going out. Download the map of the area you're going to be in before you leave. You never know if you're going to have Wi-Fi. I'll link an app that I use, Rome2rio, and I think there's another one down in the description box. I'll link those. Learning the layout of different countries or cities very quickly, and having some like wit about yourself, like being aware of your surroundings and knowing north from south. You're taking the subways, for instance, or like when I was in Japan, I don't know know Japanese. But knowing, you know, where you just got off the train in Ueno, asking around, asking questions and things like that. It's just about like having this intuitive nature and knowing, you know, your surroundings and remembering landmarks. This divine, like, hunter tracker spirit has been reborn and activated in me since I've been traveling around. Also, for under safety, I would say do a lot of research. I use Reddit and I ask any question under the sun that I want to know about a place that I'm going to travel, and Reddit literally has so many detailed answers and subreddits and so much. Any question I have in the world, I Google it and then I put Reddit at the end. Also say choose the people you're around wisely. I think energy has a lot to do with what we attract, right? And what we repel. And so if you're around someone, for instance, that is very scary, they're just fearful of everything, you might attract that. You might attract things that would put you in a situation where you need to be fearful, or attract shady characters. And also be aware of your own energy. If you are negative in a particular moment, you might attract something that you don't want to encounter. Number 7, how do you communicate with others when you don't know the language? There's an app that I would study on called Duolingo before I went to Mexico. Also, I would say study and observe your surroundings and any locals or people who live in that specific country. Pay attention to their accent, pay attention to how they communicate with each other, any little slang or short terms that they use. I pick up words and phrases as I'm there. I know a little bit of Greek, okay? I know some Thai. I know Italian. I know a little Spanglish, okay? We're using that in Italy. I know some patois. Google Translate has a feature where you can use your camera and it'll translate from any language, pretty much any language, it'll translate that to you on the screen in real time. Sometimes it's a little finicky. I used that a lot when I was taking public transportation in Thailand. It came in handy, okay? It came in handy. Or when I was at the grocery store and I wanted to know what ingredients were in something in Thailand. It's a good challenge to change and to expand and do something different and new and feel like an idiot. Sometimes feel, idiot isn't the word, but just feel like you don't know how to do something. And I think people shy away from that a lot. Like, we want to know how to do everything. I'm that way sometimes. I don't want to be wrong. And I think the school system really pushes this on us, where there's a stupid question, there's a wrong question. Be wrong. Go out and stumble like a little kid and get up again and try again and get up again and try again. Just keep at it, keep going. Number 8, where have you been in this world where you felt the most at home? This was asked by T Pillar JB. Shout out to my sissy Tamara if you're watching. I love you, choose. Anywhere when I'm in water, okay? Reggae Falls in Jamaica and St. Thomas. Also, I feel really at home when I'm on motorbikes. And you guys know, you saw me in Thailand just doing it, okay? Vroom, vroom. In Thailand, just doing the thing. Going hella fast, recklessly fast on the highway, late at night. And I just felt like I'm flying. And that feels as close to myself as I've ever felt when I'm just free, totally like a witch on a broom, just flying. The last answer to this question is, I feel most at home in my body. I feel at home with myself, comfortable with my alone time, and I value it and I cherish it and I honor it. Okay, little bougie ass question. Number 9, how long does it take for you to plan? The longest trip that it took to plan was Europe. We started looking at things like 3 months beforehand, flights and researching and Airbnbs. It was helpful to have solid places everywhere we went. But when I was in Thailand, for instance, I was booking accommodations and flights like the day before, the night before, booking buses and transportations from bus stations the night before, the day before, booking hostels the night before, the day before. So very flexible. I guess it depends on where you are traveling. Thailand is very solo travel friendly when it comes to planning and booking things. I would literally talk to a taxi driver and they would tell me about a story or a place they like to visit. Before I went to Rayong, and he seemed cool. He was telling me about the things to do there, and I went to Rayong the next day. I took a flight the next day to Rayong. So you can just do things on the fly like that if you're comfortable. Number 10, this is the last question. What are my favorite lessons that I've learned while traveling and my favorite experiences? This isn't necessarily a lesson, but I've really enjoyed and found it very valuable that while traveling, you may come face to face with your strengths and with your weaknesses or the areas that you still need to improve. And there will be different dimensions of it, but you come face to face. You really get to see yourself. You get to feel where you're at on an energetic level based on the people you attract and the energies that you attract when you travel. Like I said, it's heightened. Another thing that I've learned more recently is that healing is shedding. It's just these titles and identities we latch onto ourselves that I think end up weighing us down. And you know, the ego is involved there. So I've enjoyed learning and trying to grasp recently. Lord, it's tough. I've also enjoyed meeting so many people, especially in Thailand. It's like it's the island life, the tropics. Meeting a ton of people who are free and connected to nature, connected to themselves, and have their wings. Like they're totally in tune and tapped in. Okay, tapped in, turned on. Abraham Hicks. With themselves and with nature, and you can feel it in the way that they don't have to add a lot of fluff to what they say and bullshit you. They're straight to the point, they're direct, especially in Jamaica. They're straight and they're direct, and I was caught off guard with the men here. Okay, I feel like, okay, have some shame, have some decency. But we have it backwards in America. I really, really, really enjoy the people that I've met that have led me to new experiences and that have led me closer to myself or have activated something within me that I carry still. Oh, what I was going to talk to you guys about. I have started a new business. If you guys want to support me, you can follow ru.prive on Instagram. You can go to my website, which will be launching soon, and sign up for email updates. I'm excited to share more with you guys this process and share a piece more of me with you through the products and the information that will be available on this platform. So that's it. It's raining. The rain is picking up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I am glad it's kind of long because you guys get to see me more and we get to talk and chat and just, you know, let's have little chats down in the comment section. I really, really, really hope you are doing well. Everything you need to know will be in the description box. Thank you for continuing to support me as I evolve. All right, love y'all.